Hello and welcome to the ALLO Fiber Admin Comm Portal web training video. This video is intended to give you, the admin, the tools that you need to be able to log into a web-based portal as you see here and make whatever necessary changes you would like to make or need to make to your entire phone program here. So as the admin, this will be the URL or the website that you will need to visit. web.allovoice.net/BG. Bravo Golf. The /BG at the end will verify that you make it into the admin portal. If one were to ever go to just web.allovoice.net, it's going to look exactly the same. But when you log in, you will only be logging into your direct personal Comm Portal and features. To be able to get to the admin page, we're going to want to tag that with /BG. Once again, it looks exactly the same, so it can be a little alluring. But this is the website, the URL you are going to go to in your web browser of choice to be able to make the manipulations we're about to make right now. I know it says email or phone number, but we prefer phone number. And when I say phone number, that would be the phone number as you as the admin, your direct desk phone number. Not necessarily your main business's phone number. I'm more referring to, for login purposes, the phone number you will enter here will be the phone number of your direct desk phone number. So in my case, I set up a testing environment off of this phone number. I have already crafted a password that we can supply to you. And once you put in your phone number and the password that we provide to you, we are in business. You will know that you have successfully logged into the admin page because at the top, it, of course, aptly says admin portal. And on the top right, you can verify that you did indeed log into yours and not someone else's admin page somehow by accident, right? At the top right, I can verify I am admin line 5. From the drop down, I can also log back out if I somehow ended up in the wrong admin group here. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here in front of us. On the left-hand side, the settings pane, if you may, you have all of the options that you can ever manipulate within your business group. Now, depending on what packages you've purchased, some of these might either be here or might not be here. I.e., if you didn't have an auto attendant, you might not see the attendance tab. I believe if you don't have music on hold, the music on hold would not be there. If call reports was not globally enabled, you wouldn't see call reports. I only say that to say if you have another colleague or another friend that also has ALLO and they're jumping onto their admin portal as you do with yours, your options might not look exactly the same. So just fear not. It's all good. Also with the first section here, groups. If somebody were to be paying for the extra call center or premium ACD feature, there will also be another additional drop down here called supervisor dashboard, which we are not going to get into today. I say all that to say your settings on your left-hand side might look different from another colleague or another neighboring business that also has ALLO phones, or even in time, if you were to add or subtract certain features, the settings on the left-hand side might change. But all of the settings here that you can manipulate on the left-hand side in I guess you would say list form are all exactly the same as the big, beautiful orange buttons in the middle of your screen here. You can so choose to go to either of the exact same option, whether you're using the list on the left-hand side or the big, beautiful orange button in the middle, i.e. here, hunt groups or your call groups. There's the list option. And then there's the orange bubble option. Users list option, right? And users bubble option, right? As you can see, all of the options that you can ever choose are exactly the same if you were using the list on the left-hand side or the bubble on the right in the middle. Just wanted to lay that out there for you. So why don't we just go ahead and start from the top, if you may. Now, that is to say, to assume that you have some kind of hunt group or some kind of call group, right? A hunt group or call group is to say that you have more than one phone that is going to ring at a time, right? The receptionist group, the nurses group, the rollover group. I will choose the list option here. Once again, you could choose the list option or the bubble option. It'll all work exactly the same. When you click on it, it will show you all of your hunt groups. In this case, I only have one called Receptionist Multi-Line Hunt Group Tester. If you had multiple different hunt groups in your entire business, you would see them all here. In this case, we only have one, aptly named. We can see the number of members that are in this call group. Right now, this is just a plain Jane hunt group. As I mentioned before, this can also be a level up, which is called a premium ACD, that comes with a lot more features, but that's a different charge and a different conversation. And if you were to have put the hunt group into a specific department, that would also be listed here. Let's go ahead and click on this one hunt group. It now brings us to a couple of sub options here. As you can see, it says hunt group pilots. This 531-500-2831 phone number, that will be the 10-digit customer-facing phone number that, if when called, this hunt group will activate, right? This hunt group will trigger. So the hunt group pilot is the phone number that, when called, activates or triggers this hunt group. It has an extension if it had an extension, and you can also give it a name. I.e., you can also manipulate that by simply clicking on it. No, that's a different spot. My apologies. We'll get to this here in a second. And then hunt group members. Sounds fairly obvious as to what is going on here. This is where you can then change who is getting rang in this hunt group. The members that are in the hunt group, right? When you call this pilot number, these are the members or the phones or the phone lines that will then get rang. You can add more in. You can remove people from said hunt group. Oops, excuse me. Everything is a hyperlink on these pages. Depending on your calling algorithm, which we'll get here to in a second, like how these phones ring, you can also change the positions. Who's going to ring first in position 1, who's going to ring next in position 2, and you can change them around utilizing the little arrows here. So once again, you can add people in. I can add more members into this hunt group if I so choose. Right, now we have 3 in here. I can remove someone. Very good. The add single line box here would be if you knew the phone number or the extension right offhand, you could just immediately type that in. Oh, there's nobody on that extension. This is a test group I set up. I don't know any phone numbers or extensions. 109. So we can come in here and say it's extension 109, type in extension 109, hit add, and they are now added in. So you have different options of how you would want to add additional lines in here. Easy peasy. And settings. Now this is how your hunt group, there's where you can change the name of the hunt group, right? You can change the name of the hunt group on the settings preferences page. You can also enable login or log out for any new members that you add in. But more importantly, let's go to the settings and then hunt group settings option. And this is where you can manipulate how your hunt group is being rang. Once again, right? Hunt group pilot. This is the phone number that is called to trigger this hunt group. It will then ring the members, and it will ring the members in this fashion with these hunt group settings. Right now, the distribution algorithm is set to ring all. Of course, aptly named, it will ring all of the members simultaneously. If you wanted to change that by making your members ring one at a time, right now we can change this to linear. And you can go back to your hunt group members, and now the position is going to actually take effect. Linear is always going to, it's typewriter style. It's always going to start at position 1. So you want test line 10 to be the person that takes all calls first. It's going to ring this person for a certain amount of time. If they don't answer, then it drops down to the next person. rings them for a certain amount of time. If they don't answer, it drops down to the next person, right? Because we changed the calling distribution algorithm. And we'd be happy to get a list of these and send them out if need be. Linear and circular are both typewriter style. They're going to start back at the top every single time. Uniform round robin will be phone rings, position 1, they don't answer. Phone rings, position 2, test line 7, they do answer. So test line 7 has successfully answered the phone call. They hang up, right? Nobody is on the phone no more anymore. Now, because we have chosen round robin, uniform round robin, when the next phone call comes in, unlike linear and circular, instead of starting at the top again, it will now skip those and it will start at the next person in line, right? Because remember, we said test line 7 is the person who just took the last incoming call. It's trying to divvy out the work as evenly as possible, if you may. So test line 7 is the person who took the last call. So now using uniform round robin, the next incoming call will start with the next person in line. Test line 9, position 3. If we were to go back and change it back to linear, right? Test line 7 answers that phone call. The next call that comes in, typewriter style, is going to start back at position 1 again. Every single time. Always starts back at position 1. Once again, uniform round robin will start on the next person in line. Uniform longest idle is exactly what it sounds like. That's more call center style. Using timers in the system side, it's going to realize who has not taken the call in the longest amount of time, right? They're trying to make it as fair as possible. Test line 9 hasn't taken a call in 35 minutes. Test line 7 hasn't taken a call in 47 minutes. And test line 9 hasn't taken a call in an hour and 30 minutes, right? Who's going to get the call first? Test line 9, because they have been available the longest. Longest idle. Who has been available or not on the phone the longest? That will be the person that takes the call next, so on and so forth, right? You can make some other adjustments about how many people can sit in your queue. If all of your agents are unavailable and another caller comes in, they get to sit in a queue. How long do they sit there? I believe that's no, that's how many people are sitting in the queue, right? Okay, and so on and so forth. We'd be happy to kind of stretch this out a little bit more, but I definitely want to get to the other options here rather than just spending so much time on hunt groups. We're happy to add some additional information if so needed. Hunt groups and call group settings, I would say, is a class in its own. And I don't want to hurt anyone else. I'm kind of hurt myself here. So I say all that to say, on the home screen, using the list option here or in the bubble option is where you can go and manipulate your hunt groups, your call groups, right? That is exactly where that is at. Let's go down to the user section. For this one, I will use the bubble. Same idea. And actually, as you noticed here, if you use the bubble in the middle of your screen, it shows you that you've moved to the list on the left-hand side. Very nice. This is where all of my users are, the people in my business that have phone numbers, all my users, all my phone lines. Not necessarily every single phone number, right? Because if you're using a hunt group, and let's say your main phone number, your main business's phone number is built on this hunt group pilot number. This hunt group pilot number, this 2831, will not show up in users, as you can see here. It's trying to help us out here. Users, it's got a little human here next to it, as to say the users is not necessarily going to be every single one of your phone numbers that you've ever had or ported over to us. More so phone numbers that are assigned to a specific person, to their desk phone. If they're using a Max UC app, if you have a voicemail box only, so on and so forth. That is what you're going to find here in the users page. Phone number, it's going to list off extension, name. A few of these might have little images here. If you hover over that, that is to show us that this is an admin of the business group. If you have departments and are using them, of course, you'll be able to see who's in which department. And then now we have the more powerful option here on the users page are the little radial dial here on the right hand side. So let's go to test line 7 and click the blue radial dial on the right hand side. From here, we can view individual settings, generate phone onboarding code, which we never really use, edit personal details, add services, reset line, and unlock account. Of course, let's go through these here real quick for us, right? View individual settings, you click that. Excuse me, it opens a new window. I don't know why it's like this. Please click open a new window. What are we looking at now? We are looking at the admin, we're looking at the individual Comm Portal for just test line 7. Why would we need to do this? Let's say that your user, test line 7, of course, let's give it a real name, Jerry, went to vacation on Hawaii, lucky duck, and forgot to forward all of his phone calls. So his phone is sitting there ringing, right? Available for calls. He emails you or he calls or texts you, the supervisor, and said, I forgot to forward my phone number or put my phone to do not disturb while I'm away in vacation in Hawaii. Can you do that for me? Well, here you are. As the admin, you can go to the users page, test line 7 or Jerry, view individual settings, open a new window. It's silly. And you know what? We're just going to put Jerry's phone in do not disturb. So instead of the phone being available for calls, we're just going to put his phone in do not disturb. All of his phone calls will immediately go to voicemail anyways. Now his phone won't just be sitting over there ringing off the hook for 2 weeks while he's on vacation. You could go into his voicemails. Now, for privacy purposes, it will not let you play the voicemail. But if you needed to forward his voicemail, you can definitely do that as well from his Comm Portal. In here, you can also see which call groups Jerry is in. Jerry is in the receptionist call group. So that's just to say that you can verify who is in which hunt group if you're in the individual Comm Portal as well. From here, you can also forward to another phone or forward to another phone number, right? Now, this would be, you're going to forward his number. You're going to forward his calls to an answering service or something, right? Now it's telling you all incoming calls will be forwarded to such and such. So as you can see, there's a lot of power here in an individual's direct Comm Portal, or as it says, view individual settings, right? You can go help somebody out, put their phone in do not disturb, forward their number, verify which hunt group they're in from their Comm Portal. There's a lot more in there, but we don't use generate phone onboarding code. Edit personal details. Now, this is where you can go as an admin from your portal. You can go rename somebody now. So now we will actually name him Jerry. We're not going to make him an admin right now. We're just going to keep him as Jerry. So as you can see, I've renamed him Jerry. Test line 8. Edit personal details. Rock. I like that. That's nice. Very easy to make adjustments. Of course, if you needed to add services, this is a little more difficult to manipulate. Dare I say, if you needed to make any of these adjustments, you'll probably at this point just be giving us a call so we can help you craft that setting as you needed to. Not really utilized a lot of these very often. And then the last two, reset line and unlock account. Okay, so Jerry decided not to come back from Hawaii. But his name is on this phone number, his voicemail pin, his voicemail greeting, and we need to reset this. We're gonna bring in a new employee for his line. Instead of calling us, instead of manually having to, it's a bit of a process to turn over, if you may, a line. Or as an admin, you can come down here and click reset line. Now, who do we want to call this? This is going to be Terry. His sister took his job. We're going to remove that from any hunt groups that it was in. She's in training, right? She's not prepared to take hunt group calls. And use as local calling name. So if she calls other phones in the business, it will represent as the name. Hit apply, confirm. It's going to give you a confirmation page here. Basically, what it's saying is we have now reset this account, including the voicemail pin. The voicemail greeting is now reset to default. The name has now been changed. This phone number has been turned over. New employee. Now the Terry can go sit down at her new phone, press the voicemail button, and it's going to start like it's a brand new employee. It's going to walk them through the voicemail initiation process, have them record their name, create a pin, record the voicemail greeting. I say that to say that even on our ALLO side, with the power that we have, this reset line button is much faster and quicker than even things that we have on our side. So, of course, let's say Rock is gone. He went on to better and higher things, or same thing. We're going to reset his line, and we're going to have Chris as the new employee. Add the name, remove them from hunt groups if you so choose. Hit apply, confirm. And here we are. We now have our phone number turned over for another new employee. It is now changed to Chris. If you wanted to give them a long voicemail pin, you don't have to. Normally, whenever they go up to their phone, their new phone now, and press the voicemail button, it's going to walk them through the voicemail initiation process, so no big deal. And speaking of voicemail, let's say Chris forgot his voicemail pin and has now locked himself out. You can just simply press unlock account, give him a temporary, call us and we can give him a temporary pin. And then Chris can get into their voicemail account, right, if you may. So from the users page, you can, I say the most powerful step is the view individual settings page. Open up the new window here, and now we can manipulate all calling options for said person because they went on vacation or forgot to put their phone in do not disturb, or they need to forward all their phone calls, or so on and so forth. You can do that as an admin from the users page. See, now they're back. We can put their phone back and available for calls. And now Terry's phone is now ringing. Okay, moving back on here. On the left-hand side, attendance. Exactly what it sounds like. If you were paying for an auto attendant, or it used to be called premium attendant, auto attendant, right? That is going to be here in the attendance page. About the only thing you can do from here is go ahead and click on it. These other options don't really matter. Let's just click on it. Once again, open a new window. My apologies. And here we are from the admin Comm Portal page. We are now in the settings for your auto attendant. We can see that it is on. It's currently playing our business hours menu. Let's go check our schedule. Monday to Sunday, excuse me. Right? And then Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, we are using our business hours schedule period. Go to the menus page. Business hours menu is playing the business hours audio announcement. We don't have any keys programmed at the moment. But I say that to say from the admin Comm Portal page that we are learning about right now, in the attendance tab is where you would get to your auto attendant or auto attendants if you had more than one. I do believe you can change the name of that as well. Edit personal details. And we'll just call this main auto attendant. And there you go. You changed the name of the auto attendant. Let's move on if we may. Group access. This is so silly. It sounds a lot more important than it really is, but it's not. Group access somehow is only listing all of the pilot numbers for your hunt groups. Remember this 2831 is the phone number for that initial hunt group pilot number. Why? I do not know. But if you had multiple hunt groups or multiple pilot numbers, you could click on group access and directly get to the pilot number of each hunt group. Now, as you did see earlier, all of these are hyperlink clickable. if I were to click on that and open a new window, kind of looks somewhat similar as to when we were in the direct Comm Portal for that one user. But now we're manipulating the phone number for the hunt group, right? We can forward all of those calls for that main phone number somewhere else. So let's say that office is in disrepair and nobody in that office is answering calls. The phones are down. There's no electricity, power, plumbing, something like that. We want to get in here and forward the pilot number for that hunt group to a different place, a different call center, a different calling option. We can do that here in the pilot number of that hunt group via the group access page. So there's a little bit of usability there, if you may. Moving on, the next option is phones. I will use the blue button here. All right, here we are. This is where all of the physical devices are. Depending on how many you have, the models, this is definitely going to be very valuable for you. We can also adjust the keys on the screens of these phones as well from this phones page. What else can we gather from here? The model of each phone. If you hover over, it will tell you directly for that phone number, what phone model that is. Polycom VVX 450. This looks like a cordless phone. And to double verify, of course, you also have the 12-digit MAC address that can be found most of the time on the bottom of each phone, or with the cordless phone on the bottom of the base station. The name of each device can also be changed from this page by just clicking there. So this is no longer going to be just a test phone. This is going to be Chris phone. No, I'm not changing that. I just want to change the name. Okay, Chris phone. Okay, that one hasn't been authenticated yet. Okay, very good. That's why. My apologies. The phone number that this device is tied to or assigned to, that is to say, this cordless phone with this MAC address is connected to this 10-digit phone number, or assigned to is the verbiage that it uses. And if it was initially put into a department, you could see that there as well. Now, there's only 3 phones here, but imagine you have 40 to 60 different phones. You can use the Phones tab to really drill down and find what phone you're looking at. If you need to change the name of it, put it into a different department, I believe. Or in this case, let's go and manipulate the keys that are on this phone. So in the radial dial on the right-hand side, I know it says change phone and configure phone. If we click change phone, it's going to bring us back to that same menu we saw if we clicked right in the middle of the name. You can change the name. You can change which phone number this device is attached to or assigned to. But in this case, let's just go configure phone. Opens up a new window for us. There should only be one phone model depending on the phone number you're looking at, right? And if it does load, I've been having some issues here the last few days. So there we are. Ha, very good. This is everything that you can manipulate from our end, if you may, for this phone, this Poly VVX 450 desk phone. Now, I'm sure if you were to Google Poly VVX 450 and a certain feature or setting that you're looking for, you might be able to find it somewhere on the internet. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be available to change or manipulate or edit on our platform, right? We as ALLO, in congruence with the vendor Poly or Polycom, are only going to have so many options for our platform for the firmware versions that we're running. There's a lot more in there, but I just say that to say this is where you would configure the keys on your phone and some of the settings on our phone here, but that doesn't necessarily mean every single thing that you might Google and find on the internet for this phone model will be doable here in this page. So just wanted to anecdote that. But in this case, we're just going to mess with the 2 keys options, programmable keys line. Now, if I hover over, you can see on the left-hand side in the image, it is highlighting to let you know where on the physical phone these keys are at. For this, it's going to be on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And we loaded these phone up kind of silly. They called them just different lines. Let's say I wanted to add this last key, 12, which is B down here on the very bottom right. I wanted to add a speed dial. I want to add a speed dial to Domino's Pizza. Sounds good. If I could type here, Lord help me. And now I have a speed dial with the appropriate phone number and the name Domino's Pizza. Once I press save and verify that my phone does reboot and take its change on the screen of my phone, I will then have a speed dial in the bottom right called Domino's Pizza. Barring that you put in the correct phone number and verify that you have selected speed dial, as you can see, there are a lot of options in here. Some of them we don't even utilize. And if you ever come across one of these options that you are curious about, you can always send us an email or phone call. Some of these, like I said, we don't even use. But some of them are fairly obvious. Speed dial, line identity, if you ever needed to put that on the phone to see what phone number the phone is on. Automatic recall, callbacks. Like I said, some of these are a little obvious, but most of y'all are more than likely going to use, if you're ever going to add something, it'll be a speed dial, or as you saw with all of these other options, enhanced monitored extension, which is kind of the same thing as a speed dial. But internally in our business here, within our business phones, I can see, right, monitor the extension of extension 111. On this key of my phone, using this button, an enhanced monitored extension for extension 111, I can see if extension 111 is available for a call, if they're on a call or in do not disturb. I can see if they're actively receiving an inbound call. And if I ever wanted to reach extension 11, I could just simply press the button that is next to their name and it will call them. So the enhanced monitored extension buttons are very, very powerful, is why you see that they're fully provisioned here in this phone. Of course, we can also do call parks, enhanced call park. We use a Park Orbit 1, call this Park 1. And now you have a nice, beautiful, fresh park button there for you on key 3. And the bottom keys are somewhat of the same. The bottom keys might not do as much or might do different things than the top keys there. Like here, you can make a voicemail button and just call it voicemail. And once again, when we hit press save and the phone is rebooted, you will then have a button on the bottom for voicemail. Do not disturb. I think intercom, right? You can really add a lot to here, depending on what kind of key you're looking for. Barring that, as I mentioned, you press the Save Changes button, and leaving this box checked, update phone upon immediately upon saving, should automatically force a resync or a reboot of this phone. But every now and then they don't obey. And if you're in here as an admin making these changes and pressing save with the checkbox, and it does not automatically take the updates, you might just need to go manually reboot that phone. Any changes that you change here in this page, the phone will need to make sure it's rebooted. These are not automatic changes, right? The phone will reboot. It will check back into our provisioning server. It will take any new changes that you have since made and then load it in, and you're good to go. So just to say, as an admin of coming in here and making soft key changes, if you're wondering why it's not working or why it didn't change, you need to make sure you press save changes and either utilizing the checkbox of automatically rebooting when you press save, or if it doesn't work, even when you do that, you might need to go manually reboot the phone. Any changes on this page, the phone is going to need to take a reboot to change. And honestly, that's it from the phones page. A lot of people are going to be using this to change names of phones if they needed to. Assign this physical device to another phone number. And more importantly, I think a lot of people are going to come in here and click on configure phone and change the soft key options. Disregard that guy, as we just did. I'm going to speed along here a little bit. Some of the other ones are not going to take as long to go through. Departments is exactly what it sounds like. These are the departments. If you decided to use departments, you can even add more departments for an office. And it's a master department, so I just click the business group name. And now I made another department called front office. You can't even make sub departments. So let's say AI division, I want to make a sub department called trainees. And then parent department, I choose AI division. And I've since made a subdivision, a sub department. I believe you can go 7 sub departments deep. The operator number here, once again, we're trying to speed through this. The operator number here for this AI division department is to say, if I have any users in the AI division department, as you can see here, if I were to call Terry and leave her a voicemail, rather than just leaving a voicemail, she can say, if you need to speak with somebody immediately, press 0. When the caller presses 0, it will trigger whatever phone number is here in the operator number. So operator number is just to say your users don't want calls to just end up dying in a voicemail box. You can give callers an extra option, even while they're leaving a voicemail, as to say, if you press 0, it will then be routed to this operator number for this department. And you can add that to any of these departments. Click on front office, add another operator number in there. And whenever somebody leaves voicemail for someone in the front office and press 0, it will route to this operator number. Very cool. Short codes is kind of like extensions. Short codes are going to route externally outside of your business group entity here. That is simply to say, I have a 200 or 300 long laminated list of trucking vendors that I call. I've been calling them for 30 years. I literally have a laminated list next to my desk. And I'm used to dialing a 4-digit extension, a 3-digit extension, something like that. Now we're not talking about internal phones, right? So that would be extensions. That'd be phones that are in your group. But short codes are quick little dials for phones or phone numbers or people or your cell phone that are outside of your business group, right? Short codes are for outside of your group. So we can call this a 765. I'm used to calling 765 to Bernice in Washington. I don't know. Now I can walk up to any phone anywhere in my entire business group and just dial 765, and it will automatically route to the 10-digit phone number that we've since mapped it to. You can add, I believe, up to 1,000 of those. Extensions is almost exactly the same, but extensions are going to route internally to your phones inside of your business group. Same idea. I skipped over account codes, but this is going to be referring to when you dial outbound internationally. In this case, like when you dial out mandatory account code, right? You call somebody in Taiwan, that's going to count as international, and you can make adjustments about whether you want it to immediately stifle international calls, because you don't want somebody to just grab a phone and start making long distance calls. Your billing's going to go up. If you may, there should be a spot for us to add a mandatory account code, but I don't see that on this page. I think it's edit list. You could add a mandatory account code. That is to say, when I dial an international call, when you're dialing out of America, you dial the exit code for USA 011. You dial the full phone number for whatever country code and area code and phone number you're going to dial, and you press enter or send or call. Normally, if you have made it to the gatekeeper, that is the mandatory account code, it is going to do like a double blip, and then you'll hear dial tone again. That is when you would put in some kind of 4-digit mandatory account code, and you can even call this Taiwan, right? Now, whenever somebody wants to dial Taiwan, which is international, they're going to do the exit code calling, like I said, the phone number, the country code. They're going to hear like a double blip. Then that's the system saying, I am waiting for your account code to make sure that you know how to dial internationally, and that you're not just a 3-year-old picking up the phone and making a bunch of fraudulent international calls. So you can add those in here on account codes. Got just a few more here. Call reports comes free with all business groups here. Now, this is exactly what it sounds like. You can search this by 30-day range and hit download, and it will spit out an Excel doc. I don't think I have any calls in this at the moment. I have a few. It's going to spit out an Excel doc here showing you all of the call information for your entire business group. Now, you're going to need a little Excel foolery here. But from here, we can look at the types of calls. Terminating means inbound calls. Originating mean outbound calls. And then you're just going to use your data processing a little bit. What phone number were they calling? What phone number got called? Did it actually connect? Did somebody answer? How long were they on the phone? How long did it ring before they answered? There's a ton of information on this call reports page if you take a few minutes to add a little Excel filtering and look through the data yourself there. That's call reports, and that comes free. I think I have just a minute more here. Music on hold, if you have music on hold enabled, is right here. It's going to bring you to a new page here. This is showing you what is playing right now, default for all phone numbers. It's one of our global classical music pieces. If you were to come to the resources page, you can see those options there for you and hit play and see what they sound like. You can even add your own music on hold file here. Of course, royalty free, please, and call it piano music, right? Go find your audio file on your computer, add it in, hit add, and then you'll have new piano music in here. Then when you go to the mappings page, you click override, choose your new audio file. I did not load one in at the moment. Choose your new audio file, hit save, and now you have fresh music on hold. You can do that for yourself as well from the admin page. Miscellaneous settings and a few other things here we don't necessarily touch. That is to say, from this admin Comm Portal page, as I hope you have seen from this training video, you can manipulate just about anything in your entire business deployment from this page. I've told people before, you can almost do exactly everything we can do from our master program on our site in ALLO, except for manually creating and deleting phone numbers and MAC addresses. Right? You can't come into the users page and create a new phone number, or come into the phones page and create a new phone instance. Those would have to come from us. But just about every single other thing that you could ever think about manipulating from your entire deployment, you can do from this admin Comm Portal page. If you have any further questions, concerns, inquiries, or comments at all, or anything that we did not have enough time to go over in depth with in this initial video, send us an email or give us a phone call, and we would be more than happy to help walk you through this. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for coming.